Well, here we are. Darkest Dungeon 2. Steering. So a little bit of a odd way to start, no? So I have done Darkest Dungeon 2 before, and yeah, the carriage system, or the corridor system, was my one big gripe with the game. So actually, I stopped playing the early access simply because I felt the corridor system in Darkest Dungeon 2 was really tedious and kind of boring. It's good to see that there are a few more options for driving. We'll definitely use mouse driving. You're a stagecoach when we stop. Yeah, because obviously if I stop, I want to use stuff. That'll do for now. But yeah, Darkest Dungeon 2. It's full release, I believe. So, to be honest, I wasn't really going to touch it again. Well, it hadn't crossed my mind, I should say. But I saw Northernlion doing it, and then it clicked that, well, we must be at the point of a proper release. So, yeah. Can I reset? Anything? There should be a way to reset, right? Can I begin? Can I exit? No, I guess not. Alright. Unshackled, 20... So we're getting achievements, everything like that. Okay, it looks like I do have to do it from the beginning, which is fine. I'm happy with that.
By the stain.
So yeah. Gameplay-wise, it's similar to Darkest Dungeon 1. It's not quite the same. I can click right, yeah, and then I can steer. Cool. This, though, this corridor system, hopefully they've added more to it because it's not a great thing.
It lurking at the ragged edges of your mind.
I probably should be
I
talking over
watched
this,
its
should I?
venom spread through the veins of the world, and I trembled at its terrible reverberations. The crossroads. Who will step forward into the light?
Okay, so it does look like everything's been reset, which is great. So we have our starting four, our Man-at-Arms, Highwayman, Grave Robber, and of course Plague Doctor. So it should go something like that, right? I see what skills they have currently. You do have Pick to the Face, so you should be middle front. You've got Lunge, Pistol Shots. Yeah, they're interchangeable for the most part. Okay, but before we actually hop into the game, let's finish our little discussion. So it's similar to Darkest Dungeon 1. It is more roguelike in its elements, so the sense of progression is a little bit different, and altogether, you know, it plays as sort of a easier version. But in saying that, it's also a more tedious version. From what I remember, again, I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised. But for one, just to touch on the corridor system, any game where 60% of your time is just repetitive nothingness is horrible to me. So that was my biggest gripe with Elden Ring, was how large the map was compared to the, you know, enemy clusters or anything like that, or I should say the things you can actually interact with, the little nodes within the world. Okay, there was a lot of empty space, and the same was apparent in the first iteration of the corridor system for Darkest Dungeon 2. It wasn't like the Curio system of Darkest Dungeon 1, where there was tons of stuff going on, and, you know, there was something new around every corner. It felt suspenseful. This was just move forward, run into some objects, you know, play a horrible version of Mario Kart, if you will, and then have these weird, not so interactable choices. So you could pick different options depending on your characters, but there's no, you know, Curio interaction where you got to use X item with X landmark or anything like that. And because of that, it really bogged the gameplay down, because there's just a huge lapse of time. Even in editing was the worst, because, you know, do I show the 2 minutes, 3 minutes of carriage movement, or do I just cut to all the fights? And yeah, I'm hoping that they've added some stuff. I haven't looked at any of the notes. I'm going blind into this, so let's see. Right, so this also the tutorial section. So this is really annoying too.
Onward.
Hopefully it's not the same every time. It looks like it is though. So this introduction is always the same every run. In again, my previous attempt at playing the game, and that got repetitive really fast. Yes, it's a good like intro, but imagine doing the intro section of Darkest Dungeon 1 every time you went into the dungeon, every time you went to the cove. It would get really annoying really fast. Okay, what do we have? Well, throw dagger. You can Wicked Slice, right? Does the most still. Yeah. deal with the back row first. Not quite. A bit annoying. There we go. I wasn't sure, Plague Doctor, if they could hit the front. Good to see that again. Alright, kick to the face, good crits, and we should be able to finish it off. Alright, stress management in this is also entirely different due to the self-encapsulated journeys, so to speak. I mean, all of this will become more apparent as we play. So we've got a trinket and a currency, Candle of Hope. I believe this is new, altar currency, interesting. So, as long as there's stuff to intrigue me, I will continue to play. If I do get bored, I do get bored, and I'm not going to. What's up with you guys? I can't click on any of you, so nothing. Goals and conditions. Interesting. So there's a lot more tooltips and not a lot of explanation. So these are all like toughs and everything you want to hit. They have items in them, or gold sometimes. Just a few. So these are the choices, and usually some of your party members will be able to do something. You know, yellow indicates that they agree or have a similar thought, and then blue would be controversial. Though if you know two people have blue, then they are thinking alike. So we can either get torch and treasure or torch and supplies. Well, we'll do treasure. You'd have to hold down. It's a bit annoying. So you see they've got some bonding done. Get what it's called. It's essentially the way to trigger virtues. So there's two. You can obviously get all the detrimental effects if stress breaks, but if you've got in this bar, no, I still can't see it, a like friendly teamwork bar, you have a high chance of virtues. Yeah, steering this with the mouse is a bit awkward. I suppose on the straight paths it's fine, but turning, yeah, I might have to go back to WASD or arrow keys. Oh, that is really sensitive too. Interesting.
You see, even your valley is not immune to the spreading stain.
Big guy, gotta go first. We have poison darts. But you always want to stack dots. And I suppose we probably want to play this safe. Also does remove stress. Yeah, but we're not really stressed out. Knockback. Knockback is pretty nice. Bring her forward, which it did do. Never mind. And Doors to Advance sets up riposte. We'll do that. Great, that's riposte. Cool. I remember what most of the icons are, it seems, which is good. Need to stack the poison. 6, good. That's our riposte done, right? Yeah, so we want the men-at-arms to move forward again. Back the child's fine, we're dealing with you first anyway. Oops, you get nothing. So you gain stress, 75% chance of 1 stress for 2 turns. Alright. Blinding gas. Cool. Not that it mattered.
The slow suffering begins.
Both. Counter his little block. And then, do we have forward? We do. But we didn't get the stun. Pretty sure this icon's different. I'm pretty sure it was just the little stress icon previously. You're taking 6 still, so pick the patient. It's not enough. Slightly short. Right. Just crush. That's you done, meaning we want to pistol shot her. Oh, blinding gas has a cooldown. Interesting. Heal up, I suppose then? It's not a heal, it's just a cure. Right, we should probably read tooltips. I'm confusing them with the first iteration of the game, but a lot of the skills have been simplified. Alright, you need to be finished, not though. I don't think dots are insta clears as well, so even if we dot him, I don't think we get anything out of it. We just want to blind her so she doesn't stress, and we probably want to bolster at this point. I thought that removed stress. Again, should read the tooltips, no? Do we have... No, we don't have anything to hit both. Well, actually you do, so we're better off targeting her. Well, that works anyway. Not poison, so we'll medicine, which is just a clear.
This wound, at least, has been tended
You
to.
have poison darts, which should be enough to finish you off. 2 and 2, right? Yeah. Okay, so what is bolts to do? Target. Ah, right. It's only stress removal if they're at a certain threshold. No.
The past is gone.
Another candle
Let it
and some
die.
medicinal herbs.
Push on to the inn. Rest and resupply await you.
So yeah, so from recollection, I feel like I missed the T there. It's always the same 2 clones. It's always 2 zombies and it's always the trio. Well, I guess I shouldn't be making any judgments until, you know, I do multiple runs.
There
So I'm
are
thinking
yet
about the
places
previous.
such as this.
Oh,
where
interesting.
little
Yeah,
light
OBS is
still
not tracking
gathers.
the achievements because they're overlay. Oh well. Okay, so what's our little perks? You found you at last, collect what hopes you can, expedition. Yeah. Interesting. So that's a good sign. And there's nothing for us. No. Alright, how do I end them?
Shall we continue?
Collect the
Or is
hope,
the lesson too
gain our
demanding?
little siege levels,
Each
and
milestone
should hopefully mean that
makes
that
the
does
next
not get
road
repeated.
just a little easier.
Complete hero goals, XXX. I guess there was none, right? And candles are now our prestige. Maybe? There's still unlocks? I guess we need to continue on to find out. I guess this is the altar thing. Just to give candles. So let's see, how does this mechanic work? Each expedition you can earn candles of hope. The altar is where you spend those candles to unlock new classes, items, and pets. Okay, so they reworked the whole prestige system. That's good as well, because just the grinding of levels was kind of annoying. This is a bit more of a complex goal, and then obviously continuing up the path all the way to the mountain. So this is more Hamlet-like, being able to level stuff up.
To
It's
recall
good.
a thing
Some
is
tooltips.
to make it real
or
once more.
being able to see a bit better would be nice. So stagecoach items, inn items. I don't quite understand what this means. We'll do trinkets first. I guess they're unlocks, so we unlock new trinkets. It's probably the best thing to go for first, right? Inn items would be stress and healing. This is gonna...
A drop
Is
of
there a
sanity
quicker way to spend?
in a sea of madness.
I think I have extra from before, don't I? I suppose we'll just do 5 in all.
New instruments will help us diagnose the world's affliction.
Healing
And
salve, that's a good
overcome
one
it.
to unlock, I suppose. There'd probably be some, min-maxing to this, where if you get X
A wealth of
item, you don't want to unlock
advancement in the
anymore.
science of survival.
Like, probably just unlocking the healing salve, just guaranteeing that they're the majority of your items, I suppose, would be better.
Every twinkling recollection
There are a few new ones,
is
though.
another
Oh, that makes
implement at our disposal.
Interesting. Well, that works out, because then we can do more. 5 exactly. Leeches. Herbs. Light tedium. If there's a story, like a proper story with the different acts, we'll finish that, I think. And then I'll make up my mind if I want to continue playing it as sort of a roguelite. Roguelike? Is it light or like? L-I-T, isn't it? E. Alright, last 2, and then we can go about our day. Alright, embark.
Sanctuary, as fleeting as a dying star.
Stagecoach items, working field, so this is all just journal entries for us to read if we are so inclined. I'm not, realistically. Like learning by playing. Which I know can be annoying for people who have a better understanding of the game. Okay, so there are 5 acts.
By 2 minutes
Denial,
nightmare.
resentment, 3 more. I assume that means there's new bosses too, which would be nice to see.
You have
We'll get
cowered in
denial
your crumbling
done.
denial long enough.
Well, We'll do our roster, but we might end this first one here.
I remember our first
Little
meeting on the steps of the university. A collegial handshake. That would doom us both. Your insightful questions during my lectures gave me pause. And I recognized in you something of a kindred spirit. Despite our differences in age and position, we shared a keen fascination for archaeology, folklore, and, of course, occultism.
The crossroads,
Right.
where lost souls
So it'll still be the same
hope
four.
to find their
Yep.
way.
You have to unlock them at the Altar of Hope. That's interesting too, because I wonder if you can get them in a different order then. If it's still the same. And is it... Who do we have? There's no cleric, right? There is the occultist. There was the new... other person. I forget what they're called, the fire starter. No bounty hunter, no crusader. What am I missing? Anyone else? I don't know, but I feel like there's more slots than before. It's good. Alright, we'll leave this one here. And then we'll get into the first act in the next one. Hope you enjoyed.